This year's Liquefied Natural Gas Summit has gotten underway in Johannesburg, South Africa, featuring expert speakers from across the African continent and also those from the global gas and LNG market. Joining us now to discuss Ghana's experience with liquefied natural gas is Kofi Ellis, who is the Director for Business Development and Sales at Volta River Authority. Thanks so much for your time and welcome to South Africa. So, natural gas or liquefied natural gas is said to be a fledgling but potentially viable industry. And, you know, with it accounting for something like 30% of trade and Ghana having over 1.2 trillion cubic tons, I think it is, of gas, you should be getting into that space, but you're not just doing it aggressively enough.
Well, I can say that Ghana right now, it's not into the business of liquefying gas. We're rather trying to get liquefied gas from outside purposely for power production. So the gas that we have right now, there are no plans actually to turn them into LNG. But we're rather looking at getting LNG as imported into the country used to produce electricity. Okay, let's go into the ABCs here. Why are you pursuing that option? If we're sitting here with a 30% growth industry and you've got reserves, why import liquefied gas? Why not create the infrastructure for LNG? The key thing is infrastructure to get the gas from where it is to where we need it. The infrastructure is not ready. And once it's not ready, it doesn't stop us from going on with our business. So to be able to go on with our business, we need to get gas wherever it is. We started off with the West African gas pipeline project. We're expecting to get about 120 from Nigeria in terms of million standard cubic feet per day. We're getting just about 100. We need close to about 230 right now. So the difference of about 130, we need to look for it elsewhere. And that's how come we're going all around looking for gas. Let's talk about the synergies between the new oil industry in Ghana that's almost now at full capacity by way of the reserves identified at Jubilee and what you have by way of gas that is untapped in the country. As you develop the oil industry, is there a complementary program to try to get gas working hand in hand with oil? Definitely. Actually, as I said, we needed to get a gas flowing today. It's all because the infrastructure is not ready. Because the government realizes the fact that with our own gas, we'll be able to produce electricity far cheaper and be able to supply the nation with it. So there are aggressive plans to ensure that the gas that is produced is used locally. The idea right now is to try and pipe gas right from where the FPSO is straight to the nearest power plant that it can be used. The target date is about 2013, and that, as I said, is quite a long time away. So I mean, those local needs and local demand withstanding, talk to us about some of those infrastructure plans. Who are the investors, and are there any shortcomings? Because many people are saying, you know, when it comes to resources, the energy and oil space is the most attractive. So we shouldn't be having issues around foreign direct investment here. To be honest with you, a lot of people have shown interest in investing, especially in the gas sector in Ghana. I wouldn't want to be specific on who it is, but a whole bunch of industries are coming in, making proposals with the government. And there's been a lot of discussions. But what we want to do right now is within Ghana itself, be sure that we are ready to talk to somebody. I know that the government is in the process of forming what we call a Ghana Gas Company, resourced with various stakeholders who are well equipped to at least negotiate and talk to whoever has the money to assist in developing this infrastructure. So I think it's just a matter of a little time and all these things will be done. I mean, talking about that gas pipeline, we also know that some multinationals like Chevron, Royal Dutch Shell have been licensed, I think it is, to operate a gas pipeline between Ghana and Nigeria. The question is, are authorities moving at the pace that business is moving at? I wouldn't say yes to that. If you look at the Nigerian project, the pipeline project, it took quite a long time for that project to come into fruition. To be honest with you, when the idea was mooted almost 30 years ago, the gas started flowing just last year. So you can imagine. So in my lifetime. Oh yeah. There are people who expected this gas to come way long ago, but it never came. And it's all because it took a long time for certain decisions to be taken. Actual construction started in 2005. The pipeline was ready. We needed to put in certain compressors just to get a gas from Nigeria to Ghana. Those things also delayed up until last year, March, when gas really started flowing into the country. So I can say that people may be ready to put money into the sector, but we need to move fast. Otherwise, the need for that investment may be eroded with time.
Some people are also very concerned about ownership of local assets and resources like gold, diamonds, platinum, oil, you know, endowments of Africa. And there's a big concern that the exploration companies are foreign, that the drilling companies are foreign, that the marketers are foreign. At best, governments come up with joint venture policy programs, but ultimately the ownership, the equity in the oil and gas space is not local. What's being done to address that? Because you don't want a situation where 30 years down the line, Ghana is now a major oil and gas producer in Africa, but effectively not a significant stakeholder on an equity level.
You're right. I mean, anytime you start in a business like that, money is always the key. And as long as we don't have that huge money to start with, definitely the others will have to bring their money and they take the pace of it. Luckily for our Jubilee field, it's not the only field that we're looking at. There are many other fields that are online coming. And I believe that with experiences and the revenues and whatever we get from the initial fields, we can start holding bigger shares in the subsequent fields, and then we'll be self-sufficient when it comes to our own resources. It's not as if we've given everything out as we did in the gold sector, where most of the mining are foreign miners.
Businesses' response, I mean, you said, you know, the demands are urgent right now, and the forecasts that were made a few years ago is that by 2011, gas demand in Ghana would be at 67%. So clearly people need it, industry needs it. Sure. What are they prepared to pay for it, simply put?
What I've realized is that, as you said, industry is prepared to pay for it. I can't be very sure what price we're talking about, but their main concern is the reliability of it. The main concern is reliability. And for as long as it's reliable, they're ready to pay for it. That's what I can say to that. I can talk about specific prices.
No, I don't need specific prices. I think I'm just using a euphemism here. Sure. To what extent can you really measure demand for gas within the industry in Ghana?
I can say that the biggest industry that needs gas now, it's the power sector. The next in line will be the fertilizer sector. Government, I know, is planning by 2016 to build a fertilizer plant that will reach about 2.5 TCF of gas to run the fertilizer plant. But for now, an industry that is ready to fire with gas is the power plant. We're already firing with gas.
Right.
It's just that it's not enough, as I said initially.
And finally, safety concerns. You know, proponents of natural gas always argue that it is the environmentally safer option. But others are saying just setting up the infrastructure relies a lot of capex. It's a very expensive business getting it off the ground. So in terms of the economics, the investment case for moving the gas into the gas space for Ghana, how strong is it? Well,
local investment is not that strong, if I may put it. So we'll still be relying on foreign inflow to make this thing possible. But as I said, as we move forward, I expect that whatever we gain as a country as we move forward, we will reinvest these and have a bigger share in whatever it is moving forward. That's what I can say to that.